I suspect we might be heading into a depression with inflation. Some people call it stagflation, but this one is so severe because we have a global liquidity crisis. There's no money. It's drying up fast. The biggest problems in the shadow banking system we cannot see, the euro dollar, the euro yen, and all that. So inflation is up, gold prices are down, real estate's crashing. You know, one day the school teacher said, I said, why don't we have financial education in school? And I was talking about, the income statement, balance sheet, basically a financial statement. I always say my banker's never asked me for my report card yet. My banker wants to see my financial statement. And they don't know what a financial statement is. They say, yeah, but we teach economics. I said, which one? And they didn't know there's different economists, like Keynesian, Marxist, Malthus, exactly. Adam Smith, Ricardo. I mean, these teachers who are economists are more stupid than the students. I mean, they don't even know there's different economic theory.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Can't believe it. And I don't have a degree in economics. Well, I took a gold mine public, the richest gold mine in America. It's in Provo, Utah, went public July 8th, 2022. And our ore grade samples are through the roof, and we're going to take a NASDAQ next year, I think. So, and then I've been a gold bug since Vietnam. I tell the story of I'm on an aircraft carrier flying a gunship for the Marine Corps, and I'm looking at this thing that says gold. Next thing took the dollar off the gold standard. So what does that mean? Because they don't teach us in school. So my co-pilot and I flew behind. It was enemy lines because the NVA was North Vietnamese Army had overrun the damn place. So we went behind enemy lines. We disarmed and walked through the village in Vietnam. And all the people go, "What the hell are you guys doing?" He said, "We're unarmed. We're here we come to buy gold." And so we walked up to the window, and the little Vietnamese woman with bright red teeth, because they eat beetle nuts. And she was showing us gold nuggets. And I'd never seen gold. And my co-pilot never seen gold. And because it was illegal. Remember, it was illegal for Americans to own gold. So he looks at me. Yeah. I look at him, and he goes, "Is that gold?" I said, "I don't know. I thought you knew." And us two idiots are standing there in front of her. And so I tried to discount it. I think it was about $50 an ounce then, up from 35.
Sure.
And I tried to get it down to 40, and she just smiled her bright red teeth, says, "Spot, spot." So what does spot mean? A spot on my shirt or something, But I didn't know at the time, but when I got back to the ship, she educated me. This little Vietnamese woman, she educated me. Gold is money throughout the world.
Exactly.
That's what spot means. And what people may not realize, when you have a liquidity crisis, it's because they're finding out their so-called assets aren't assets. I'm backed up all the way with gold, silver. I have mining shares and all this. I have oil wells. I have beef. I have things the Fed cannot print. That's my claim to fame. I have no stocks, no bonds, no mutual funds, because I just don't like paper. After Vietnam, I didn't trust it. And I was learning how to trade options, which I'm not good at, which is why I'm a real estate guy, because real estate's slow, options are faster. But the idea of selling something you don't own just terrifies, But my first big gold mine play was in Dalian, China. I raised $27 million on the Toronto Stock Exchange. We struck gold, and the Chinese said, "Thank you." I learned the hard way, Bert. It's called country risk. So do you know what I mean? Different countries will take your gold mines, but America, hopefully, they don't do that here. I like to paint pictures. That's what we do at Rich Dad here. Interest rates just go up a little bit, and I was at a big major bank right near my house in Phoenix, and the whole place was empty, not from customers, but their mortgage department is cleaned out.
Yeah.
And, Twitter just laid off, I don't know how many millions of people. Amazon's laying off people and all that. That's what that means. So we can talk about interest rates and percentages and all this stuff. But the thing is, as I said, what goes up must come down, because I think we're in a serious, almost a Weimar Republic, what brought Hitler to power type of situation where it's so goofy. And I'm concerned for everybody too, because they're calling for riots in Europe. China's in serious trouble, because when we slow down, they slow down. So this is not just a U.S. thing. This is a global challenge we're coming up to. This is not just China. It's Europe right now. They're cutting down trees to heat their woods just to keep the greenies happy so you don't burn fossil fuel. I mean, give me a break. This is nuts right now. We can talk what the Fed's going to do, what the Treasury is going to do, what Wall Street is going to do. A more important question is, what are you going to do? Because you and I are not going to change the Fed. We're not going to change the president. We're not going to change Wall Street, but we can change ourselves. That's why I wrote the book Fake, because this inflation, all this, in my opinion, is fake. We all know, if Neiman Marcus had a sale, we'd be shopping. But and they said, well, Neiman Marcus is going to is raising their prices 20%. They said, oh, good, we'll wait till it's high of 20%. And that's what people do with investments. Because I was 20 years ago, I was doing options trading. I just said, I'm going to buy the hard asset. But a call means you call up, you expect the price to go up. And I think that's, to me, because I wrote this other book, Who Stole My Pension? It came out in 2000.
No.
And as you know, I don't think these pensions are flush with cash or with assets right now. I think they're hemorrhaging too. And they say, well, your asset has gone down below the margin, or as low as, that's like you buy a house for $100,000, but now it's worth $50,000. Not so much what the Fed's going to do, or the Biden crime family, or Wall Street, or Donald Trump, or those guys. It's what are you going to do about it? I want to say again is that, Bert's been a long-time friend. We both kind of grew up in Hawaii. He lives in California now. But every time Bert's letter came out, there was shockwaves going through Hawaii. How dare you say that? And then you're hated one day, then you're loved the next day. I was always kind of entertaining, because that's a market. It's going up and it's down. But the most important thing that Bert does, I think he gives you about a 2-year warning. Well, what's happening is interest rates were coming down. The debt was going up. So when they raised the interest rate, the debt got more expensive. And now the question, who pays for that debt, is the taxpayer. But that's the most important thing, because we see at Rich Dad, your greatest asset is between your left ear and your right ear. Called your brain. And it's also your greatest liability if you're not putting good stuff in it. We interviewed a mother and daughter, but what they're putting in, the daughter's 15. She says, I can't believe what they're putting in my brain at school.
Yeah.
What the teacher was telling them then, that the recession was over and happy days were here again. She's a school teacher. She's teaching you that. And guys like you and I are saying, we hope we're wrong, but this could be the biggest depression in history, because the debt is so high and there's so much misinformation today. I keep saying to all the young people, this is the most powerful entrepreneurial tool I've ever seen. I can call anybody all over the world and get information from all over the world on all this. And now I'm watching the YouTube video, and all of these young people are jumping on the bandwagon now, saying, oh, you should buy silver. Well, I've been buying silver since 1964, when I was 17 years old. When I first saw that dime turn to copper, I said, there's something wrong here. And then in 72, I was flying in Vietnam, and that little Vietnamese woman with the red teeth educates me as to what spot meant. Gold and silver are money throughout the world. And the U.S. dollar right now, I don't know where it is. But I don't trade foreign exchange, FX, they call it. Yeah. That's a whole nother specialized science. The most important thing, Bert, is over our years of experience, aren't crashes some of the best times to get rich? They're getting out of Dodge, and they're telling everybody, oh, the recession's over. Don't worry, buy the dip.
Yeah.
The Fed's got your back. I'm going, holy moly. How stupid can you be?